announcement by the company. Let's just get to the bot. All right, so if you go to the bot, right, you go under the mine and then you see Royal Q feedback. So under the feedback, you will see the latest announcement. Can you see that? RQ have adjusted. Go click that. All right, so you can read over here, okay? But if you look, right, actually they have given you the steps here, okay? The steps here. So what they are trying to say is this. Remember, okay, the RQ IP address that they were using, okay, will be expired because Binance have an issue in Singapore. All right, because of this issue in Singapore and so on, they are actually reapplying back the IP address, so they have to change the IP address. Now, before I go into this, right, let me just quickly also explain to the people, because some people don't really understand about API and IP address. Okay, let me just quickly give you an understanding. Now, the API is basically for the bot to integrate between the bot and the exchange. All right, so in order to trade, the bot have to integrate. So that integration happens through API. Now, and then we also have for the security, okay, for the security reason, you have the IP address. Now, this IP address is very important. Okay, now, if you don't have the IP address, you only have the API, okay, the secret key and the private key, right? That is the API. Now, if you have API, but you don't have the IP address, sometimes, right, because of the phishing scams and so on, you can experience unusual activity in your Binance account or your Huobi, and suddenly you will see that your fund is actually getting lesser or being manipulated. Now, to prevent this problem, okay, I'm not saying this problem will not happen. It can happen because if you go and visit the phishing sites and so on, you are actually going to make your device vulnerable. So be careful of that. Now, in order to mitigate this issue, right, the company say, okay, fine, we know this problem can happen. So we're going to allow you to use the IP group. Now, why is it? Simple. Now, in the event, if the phishing scam or any unusual activity happen in your bot, you can trace back to which IP address that actually caused that unusual activity. All right. So that is the reason why we have a group of IP address that was given, so that with this IP address, you will be able to track. All right. So you can go to Binance and ask them, who actually caused this unusual activity? So the Binance can actually check on the IP address and exactly tell you from which IP address does this unusual activity happen. So I think that is a brilliant, okay, a brilliant, action or brilliant way how the company, okay, Royal Quantitative is actually helping the users. All right. So please take note of that. So that is the reason why. So that's why they ask us to quickly, all right, to quickly actually reapply the IP address. All right. So please understand that. Now, to do that, okay, if you look, right, they have given you a clear step by step here. Number one, open the Royal Q API binding page. Number two, copy button to copy the IP group. All right. Number three, open the API page of your Binance or Huobi, and then create a new API, check transaction permission. Now, can you see that? They ask you to create a new API. All right. So what you're going to do is that you create a new API. That's all. Some people worry, oh, if I create a new API, what happened to my current? Nothing will happen. You just have to follow the instruction that they tell you. And on top of that, right, please understand, normally, okay, like me, I'm trading with API. I change my API every month, okay, because of safety, because of security. So every month I will change. Some exchanges, they only allow you to use the API for probably 3 months. And after 3 months, your API will expire. And then you have to create new API. So this process is a common process. All right, so please take note of this, okay? If or else, right, you get confused over time. Okay, don't get confused. This is a normal process. All right. So now let's just get to it. Okay, and I'll show you exactly how to do it. Sorry, okay, don't raise your hand. Okay, wait for a while. Let me finish this. After that, you can raise your hand. All right. Now, if you get back to the bot, okay, first thing, right, just get to your bot under the home. Now, under the home, you will see up here is your API binding, right? So click the API binding. So once you click, you will see Binance, right? So you click the Binance, Now, can you see Where do you get the new IPI group binding? Can you see here? This is all the address. So they ask you to copy. All right. So you need to copy this group address. They already changed it. This is the new one. All right. So this is the new one. So you only need to copy this. Now, let me get back into my Binance. All right. So this is my Binance over here. All right. So now I'm using a browser. Okay. I'm not using an apps. Okay. Because I'm doing the presentation. So, but the concepts are similar. Okay. So please take note of that. So under the apps or the browser, you will see the avatar, right? So you click the avatar. If you go into the apps, you will see under your menu, okay? You will see more, right? Click the more. Click the more if you are using the apps. And when you click the more, you will see the API management. So if you're using the browser, you click the avatar there, okay? Your profile. So at the profile, you will see API management. Click the API management. All right, so now you can see I have 3 bots, okay? 3 bots here connected, okay, to my Binance. So I want to basically replace my API. So when I want to replace my API, now I am going to do for JD Wealth. Can you see that? JD Wealth. So what I'm going to do, right? I am not going to do anything here. I'm going to create a new one. Can you see that? I don't want to touch the old one. So I'm going to leave the old one. And later on, I'm going to delete the old one. So while I'm doing the new one, the old one will still be running as it is. All right, so I'm going to create a new one. So how do I do that? So I just go to up here and I do a new one. Okay, so this will be JD Legacy. Okay, new IP group. Okay, new IP group. So that is my label. So I'm going to create. All right, and then you have to go through the same process, right? There are 3 layers of verification: email verification code, phone verification code, and then the Google Authenticator. So let me just get each of these done, okay? Just hang on for a while. Okay, for the email, let me just get these things. Okay, just a moment, all right? I will open up for any questions and so on. Okay, 652. I just want to go through this, and this is recorded so everyone can watch. Okay, 652-821. And my phone verification, 668862. And my Google Authenticator. Okay, make sure, right, you have a proper layers of security, okay, for your what to say, Binance account. Okay, so I'm going to submit. So you can see API is created, right? Now this is my new API which is created. Okay, you can have a look at this. Okay, you can even go and try to copy. Okay, because I'm going to delete this after I do this what to say, this demo. Okay, because I'm not going to use this because everyone can see the secret key, right? All right, so don't worry about it. Now what I'm going to do here, right? You go back into the bot. Okay, get back into the bot here. Now, in the bot, right? What I want to do, I want to replace. Don't unbind. Okay, don't need to unbind. Just replace. Click the replace button here. So once you click the replace, can you see that? Now it's requesting you for the new API key and the new secret key. So what do? You get back into your Binance. And now you copy, right? Copy the API, get back into your bot, all right? Get back into your bot and then paste it over here, all right? Paste it over here. Then they're asking you for the secret key. So you get back into your Binance, all right? Copy this, all right? Copy this whole thing there. Okay, copy and get into your bot. All right, and paste it over there, your secret key. All right, now, before you proceed, okay, the next process, you need the IP group binding. Can you see that? So you need to copy the IP group binding from here. So click copy, okay, confirm. So you go back to your Binance over here. So once in the Binance, what you need to do, can you see at the bottom here, okay, we want to edit the restriction. So we click edit. So once you click edit, all right, make sure, okay, make sure you see here, okay, enable reading. You must enable the spot and margin trading. Don't forget that. But you can see by default, okay, enable withdrawals is by default is restricted. So means the bot can have no authority or authorized to actually access your fund. All right. Now, the IP, where do you put the IP? Can you see IP access restriction? So we go for the restrict access to trusted IP only. This is recommended. Can you see that? So even Binance recommend you to do that. If you use the unrestricted, it's less secure. So we click this. Now, once you click this, you need to paste the group IP over here. That's all. Now, don't forget, once you paste, click the confirm. Click the confirm. Can you see that? And thereafter, you go and save it. All right, don't forget that. Okay, this is where people forget. They forget to confirm, they forget to save. Okay, save it. So once you save it, you put the authenticator again to authorize this transaction. Okay, that is it. You will see edit API is successful. All right, now let's get back to the bot. So you get back to the bot. Now we need to get the verification code. All right, verification code for this. So let's check the verification code. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, verification code is in. So let me just key in the code here. All right, and then make sure you click I have read. Okay, I have read carefully, and then you click the bind. All right, click the bind. Okay, that is it. Can you see that? Bound successfully. That is it. So now this is basically the whole process. All right, the whole process, how you actually do your API. Can you see? So what I'm doing is very simple. So now if I get back to my Binance, what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete the old one. Okay, the old one. I have the old one here, JD Wealth Maker. I'm going to delete it. That is it. Simple. So I don't need to worry about the old one because I already recreated the new one. So it is the same process how you do the new API. Can you see that? It's the same process. Okay. So I don't know why sometimes people confuse their life. Okay, because they go and do it in the existing API and so on, right? So that is where the they actually created the problem, right? So I think this is the simpler way to do it, and it doesn't disrupt any of my trade. Can you see? All my trades are still running, okay? Are still running, and there is no problem to it, right? So that is a simpler way, okay? How to actually do your API, all right? So let me just stop here for a while and then open up for any questions.